Welcome to another episode of Behind the Studs, your home improvement and remodeling podcast, where the two most entertaining guys discuss the do's and don'ts in home construction and in the remodeling industry. Remember that you can nail it, paint it, or just tune into the show. How about that? Here are your hosts, Colin Shaw and Jimmy Driscoll.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Behind the Studs.
That's us.
Mr. Jimmy, how are you, sir?
I am freaking awesome, and I am craving gravy cheese fries. Don't ask me why.
Cheese fries?
Yeah.
Well, where do you usually get them?
Well, usually get them at the diner, but the diner's closed.
And they're not doing to-go, probably?
Well, they do to-go,
Do
but,
they?
You know, you can't get fries to go because the
Hey,
steam
you're right, you can't.
ruins them,
Yep.
and they're just limp, and then they're not crisp anymore.
Right.
I am a French fry aficionado, a fan.
Okay, a fan,
And
sure.
just because the weather's so crappy up here in Niantic, not like in Virginia where our guest is,
Yeah.
it's a night for cheesy gravy cheese fries, man.
All right. Well,
Comfort
you know
food.
what? We're going to draw a line right now.
What?
If you're such a fry aficionado,
Yeah.
McDonald's or Burger King?
Well, I got to tell you,
Mhm.
Burger King has really stepped up a lot.
I've heard that.
My God, they have a chocolate shake. Oh my God.
We're talking about French fries.
But I got to get to the
Jesus.
fries. You got to get to the shake.
No.
I'm
All right,
serious.
fine.
No.
McDonald's shake or Burger King shake?
Burger King shake.
There you go. All right.
It's a toss-up on the fries.
Uh-huh.
They're both but I have to say Burger King is more consistent. I've hit McDonald's, and McDonald's has been kind of like great to terrible. But
Yeah.
but Burger King is always consistent.
Yeah. All right.
That's it. What else you want to
And
know?
Gabrielle?
Gabrielle? Oh, our guest
McDonald's?
today
All right,
is...
go ahead. Introduce her first.
Our
All right.
guest today on Behind the Studs
All
is Gabrielle McGrath.
Ooh.
Hello.
Hello there.
Welcome to the show.
Hey, good to have you.
McDonald's fries or Burger King fries?
McDonald's fries.
Yes.
All right.
But if we're really going to have the fry conversation, it has to be Five Guys.
Oh,
Oh,
you like
yeah.
Five Guys, huh?
All right. Hands down. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So here's the thing about Five Guys. So we had one here in East Lyme. It
Yeah.
went out of business.
Went
I
out
don't
of
know why.
business.
I don't have no idea. So I used to go in there and I'd get my fries extra crispy, and they would make them extra crispy.
Really?
And then one day I went in there and they go, "We can't do that anymore." I said, "What do you mean you can't do that anymore?" He's like, "Corporate said we can't make them crispy." I said, "Screw corporate. I'm the guy paying the bill. Make me crispy fries." They wouldn't. I never went back.
And they closed.
And they closed.
That's
See?
it. You
I
kiboshed it.
single-handedly
Closed.
brought down their-
You took on Five Guys and you
and I
closed them
won.
down.
I won.
Oh my God!
Yes.
But at Five Guys, I agree with you. Five Guys. Yes.
Yeah, and the burgers are amazing.
And the peanuts aren't bad either.
Yeah, they're good. Sure. You can't throw them on the floor there, though. Like some bars you can.
I do.
Do you really?
Hell yeah.
Wow, they don't like you.
Well, too bad. That's why they closed.
All right, Gabrielle,
Here we
you
are.
are in Virginia right now. Is that correct?
Sure.
Virginia.
Yeah, in the nicer weather.
Yes.
Yes,
All
good.
four seasons in one day. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
We're just trying to get rid of some of our bad seasons that we got going on.
Right.
Here. We need good ones.
Mm-hmm.
So you are an architectural designer. Is that correct?
Yes, I am.
So what's a typical day as an architectural designer? What do you do?
I do a lot of drawing in Revit, which is a 3D modeling software.
Yeah.
So you see the cool fly arounds, and you can do renderings through different softwares and kind of make it a little bit more visual for the client. But I also do construction documents with that for, permitting and building.
Okay.
Mm.
So do you do more in Revit than you do in CAD at this point?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where the industry is kind of going towards.
Nice.
Could you explain to the listening audience between Revit and CAD a little bit, if that makes a difference?
Yeah, so Revit and CAD are both owned by Autodesk. So they're basically Photoshop and Illustrator are owned by, Adobe. So AutoCAD is more of like a 2D flat drawing system.
Okay.
And you have different lines and layers that you can toggle on and off, where Revit is actually 3D modeling that you can plug and play in different components to kind of create more of a 3D project.
Okay. So it helps the customer understand a little bit better when they see that kind of dimension, when they look at the plans, because I'm sure a lot of homeowners, if they get a chance to look at the plans. Hey, easy over there. Quiet. I'm talking.
Sorry.
talking.
That's okay.
It's all right. So basically, a homeowner can a homeowner understand it when they look at them, like briefly, besides of architectural design? Do they can see everything, like the
Yeah,
guts?
I mean, I think for the homeowner, you would want to look for an architect that's doing Revit, because when you hire an architect that actually does Revit, you can see it 3D, and they should be able to show you what it looks like on the outside, what it looks like on the inside, show you a few views of different things that you can kind of maybe picture, because not all homeowners are visual thinkers.
That's very true.
That's true.
Very
What
true.
they say and what they finally see can be two different things.
Yes.
And what they want, and what they can have. I would imagine if you have an architectural designer, you can go, well, we can do this, but we really can't do that because of this. Correct?
Yeah,
right.
They can show you maybe why and kind of explain it in like a way where they can communicate it 3D with you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
So basically from the get-go, the upstart, you get the idea from the homeowner. Is it between you and the builder? How does that all work? How do you come into play with the homeowner?
Yeah, so an architect and a homeowner. So like you're a homeowner and you want to do like a major renovation or an addition to your house, or you just bought this beautiful house on this cool property, but it's like totally dated and you add footage or something, or you even have a brand new, like just an empty lot that maybe the house was knocked down, or you've got some like farmland, or you finally got some like you've always wanted and you saved up and you bought this piece of land and been dreaming about building your dream home. So there's a few things you got to know what you want, kind of, where you're like, oh, I want 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. Well, how do you want them to relate to each other? Like, do you want the master bedroom to be downstairs or upstairs? Do you want 1 floors or 2 floors? Kind of roughly how much space do you feel like you're going to need, like a range of maybe square footage? You don't have to have any of this. It's just better to know what you want. So then you can kind of come to the table where, you call up an architect to tell them, oh, I'm thinking about doing this X, Y, and Z to like add a major renovation, a lot of square footage, a kitchen and an addition with like a family room, or redoing and adding on like the mother-in-law suite or something, because my mother-in-law needs to come live with us or something.
Right. Do you ever get from a customer saying, hey, I grew up in a Victorian home. I like Victorians. Can it have like I want to build a house in this area where it has a Victorian style or a Greek or Gothic or whatever style? Did they ever come to you with a certain style?
Absolutely. Yeah. When I was working in Florida at a company that we really did a lot of residence, we had a really fun couple that they were actually professors at the university in town, and they really wanted like a modern home, like very modern. And we kind of did more of like, traditional beach. Doesn't matter. A good designer can tailor it to your taste.
Nice.
And your needs.
Yep. Now, do you find that
you can hire
people?
Somebody?
Good.
You can hire somebody that maybe has a portfolio of the projects because you like the way it looks. Mm-hmm. The design person should be able to hear what you're wanting and see it to look like that.
Gotcha. Now, are you finding that more people are looking for a master bedroom on the first floor? Because that's really popular around us here, is being able to add a bedroom to the main floor so that way they can age in place. Do you find that?
Absolutely. I haven't, at the company I'm currently at in Virginia, I'm not doing residence, but when I was in Florida, that was like one of the, like, you come to the table with a list, a downstairs master bedroom, because either you wanted to age in place or because you needed some place you didn't want to have to deal with stairs. Also, elevators were kind of a big thing too.
Really? Yeah, right. Yeah. Interesting. Are they really expensive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you build the house from scratch and you stack closets on top of each other, you know, maybe in 10, 15 years, you can add the elevator and you don't pay for it when you're building the house.
Oh, nice. Smart.
I'll think of that next time when I'm building my other mansion.
Yeah.
Right? That was my biggest downfall. Yeah. I had to sell it. I couldn't deal with it. Son of a bitch.
You could get one of those chairs that goes up and down the stairs.
I know. I didn't have Gabrielle to do it for me. That's what happened.
That's what happened.
Now look at me. I'm in a trailer park.
Yep.
Shooting coyotes. Eating them.
Oh, man. Very nice.
So that is very cool. There are things about, I have to say, what I don't like. I don't like modern homes. And the reason why I don't like modern homes, well, let me just say, a lot of modern homes that I've seen, I don't like them. And the problem that I have with them is that the roof lines. Now, maybe they've changed in the past, in the 1970s, because everybody decided that they wanted all these roofs and peaks and valleys, and that caused nothing but problems. It keeps roofers employed. It keeps tapers and sheetrockers employed. You know what I mean? Because I believe in the simplistic roof system, if it's just one slab and another slab and the water runs off of it, you don't have a problem. When you start putting a lot of hips and valleys and stuff like that, I understand that it may be like your statement, like a homeowner wants a statement to show that they like, you know, the more gables that they have pointing off a house, that shows them their, I don't know, their personality or something to that effect. I look at the long term, the way the systems are now. Yeah. You know, absolutely. I'm sure you've had to deal with a lot of that, like different roof lines.
Yeah.
Yay.
You have to do the math for like how much rain is falling in the gutters too.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
There's like calculations you do to see like how many inches per hour you get where you're located, and then how much like the square footage of your roof, and then you divide it based on the size of your downspout.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Way over my head.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my
God. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of math. Right.
Yeah. That's not for me.
It was so funny where we are, Gabrielle. We have there's a condo unit in Old Lyme, and was getting the call every year, Jim, our gutters are clogged. The water's running off the gutters. And I'm like over there. I cleaned them. And then I finally figured it out. I went over there in a downpour. I'd run out. I would run over there and looking at it, I says, your gutters are too small. They're not wide enough. The pitch of the roof and where you are, I mean, I didn't know math at the time. I still didn't get it. You got too much volume of water. You can't handle it. The gutter can't handle it. Even the downspout was right there. The gutters were not wide enough to carry that load of water.
Interesting.
All right?
Yeah.
Just want to share that with you.
So you need Jimmy on your team.
Well, I'll tell you, if I fix your gutter and you say you have a leaking gutter and I know it's going to rain the next day or whatever, I don't care if it's like going to be a deluge or a downpour. I drive out to the house. I tell them, I'm coming. I know it's 10 o'clock at night, but I got to see your gutter. I got to see what it's doing.
Yep.
You know?
Nice.
Is it me or is it and I can pretty much, you know, find out what the problem is, usually.
That's good.
Okay.
All right.
All right, great.
Another problem solved.
That's it.
Yes.
Next. Move on. Let's go.
So when do you feel a homeowner should reach out to you? I mean, you said that, you know, if you have some good ideas in mind, I mean, are you also finding like Pinterest and those type of sites helpful and people are bringing that sort of information to you?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we can start as soon as you like have a thought in your head and you just call up the architect and kind of, I think I want to do this. Or you can already have like, you know, details of square footage and your site survey and like a whole Pinterest board down by room. We've had it all.
Nice.
Oftentimes, at least with our clients in Florida, at the company I was working at that did a lot of custom homes, we would encourage them to have either like a house account or a Pinterest board, and not only pin the picture or tag it, but also like write a little description about what you like in the picture. So it's not just like you like the kitchen cabinets and we think you like the countertops or something.
Exactly. Yeah. We do the same with House. You know, we're affiliated with House, and I tell all my customers, go on there and create the idea book and then share it with us. But I always tell them, you know, there's a section right below. You can just write as much stuff as you possibly can. Tell me, you know, I like the cabinets, but I hate the countertop, or, you know, whatever it is. So, yeah, I mean, I found it to be very helpful in our business as well. You know, that people have something that they can look at and then bring to you. And now I'm not guessing what they want.
Well, and I think people use different language and vocabulary when they're describing what they want because they think it's called something else, or we interpret it as something else.
No, very true. Very true.
Are you finding now that houses are trendy, certain styles are trendy, that people are looking at whether on House or Pinterest or whatever, and they go, oh, I like this house. And then sure enough, a couple of weeks later, someone picks up the same style, or is it very varied where you are? Very varied. Listen to me.
Very varied.
Very varied. I think It just depends. I think there are some things people really love, and there are some things that are just totally different. I think people like good space and good window and good light is pretty typical, but
Mhm.
the actual aesthetic and colors is a very personal thing.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So big windows. People like open space windows. A lot of stuff like that. Okay.
Everybody loves light, right?
Well,
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know. Have you seen? There's a commercial out right now because of the COVID-19.
Yeah.
I think it's an Oldsmobile commercial, and they will drop the car off to your house,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a modern house. It must be in Oregon, because there are pine trees all over this house.
Okay.
And this commercial annoys the hell out of me because it's in the woods, and and I'm like, how do they clean it? It's full of mold and algae and freaking, and it's just like
Undersized gutters.
huh?
And probably undersized gutters.
Yeah, and the pitch on the roof is very slim.
Yeah.
It's very modern.
Yeah.
But it's just like it's in the wrong place. It's too far into the woods. Don't take the car back. We're moving.
Yeah.
We're gonna move.
Just keep watching Netflix.
We're
No
moving
commercials.
We're moving to
Yeah.
Arizona. Well, now that I told you about that commercial, you'll see it.
Yeah.
That Oldsmobile commercial.
And you'll laugh.
You'll
laugh.
Jimmy hates that house.
Yeah.
I freaking hate that house. Hate it.
Oh,
I had
boy.
to share that. I feel better now. Thanks.
Yes.
Okay.
So tell our listeners too a little bit. I've worked with architects in the past, and a lot of times they're usually one way or the other. Either they, charge by the number of drawings that they do and the size or whatever, and then others charge, a percentage to the overall cost of the project. Do you see one more than the other, or how does it usually work for homeowners?
I think that's really just depends on what company you're working with, which business practice. It's also kind of regional based too, where you don't want to price yourself out of your competitors. Like if you're in a smaller town and there's less architects available, but the medium income is less versus like a very metropolitan area where there's like a lot of architects. So I went to school in Illinois, so most architects per capita is like Chicago. So it just depends. When I have done it, it was based on percentage of the price, and
so then you're actively involved in the project at that point. You're not just doing drawings and walking away at that point. You're doing drawings and still staying in touch with all the people.
We would do construction administration during the time where you hand it over to the contractor and the contractor building it. We would still go to the site and look at things.
Sure.
While things are being built, the contractor and the owner will probably be working together on a daily basis. But they might have some questions for the architect, or they want to make a change now that they see stuff up. I'm pretty sure you guys have the same experience.
Oh yeah.
People change their minds halfway through.
Yeah.
A couple of times here or there. Yeah.
You just said we. You just said we. So is there a couple people that work on the project with you also when you do an architectural design, or is it just you?
Oh yeah, architecture design is always a very collaborative process. Most of them are actually small businesses. Support your small businesses at this time. But you could technically hire an architect where it's just a one-man show, but most of the time it's at least 2 or 3 people plus. I think the average is between 7 and 14 people at an architecture firm. I mean, there's obviously firms out there that are, international or national,
Sure.
and you have 100 people, but typically they're a fairly small entity.
Gotcha. So what do you like? What do you like doing more of? I get that you were doing more residential in Florida. So what are you doing now in Virginia? Are you doing more commercial or?
Actually, I'm doing education, so higher ed,
cool.
labs, marine sciences buildings.
Oh, cool.
I'm also working on an elementary school and then a major renovation of a local theater.
Wow, very cool.
Nice.
Which one do you like better?
The theater.
Theater. When I got my master's, I love education, so I love doing schools. But the theater project is really cool because I haven't done much with the acoustics and the light, so that's a whole new learning thing.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool.
Wow.
So I understand you have an older house and doing some work on it as well. So you're kind of the DIYer right now?
I am. I grew up in a Cedars house by mail, so I've always loved older homes personally. And my husband and I say we, but he was gone on deployment, so there's that. We just purchased our first home in January this year.
Congratulations.
So, thank you. So we're working our way through it, one room at a time.
Yeah. So what type of projects are you guys working on?
Well, we currently just finished with the electrician that rewired the whole entire house because a lot of knotted tube electrical.
Oh,
so
really?
That was,
yeah.
That one I hired the professionals for.
For sure.
So that also caused when they rewire your house and it's an older home, like a lot of 4-inch holes in your house, like your walls. So you got to patch all of those. I ripped out a lot of carpet, refinished floors.
Wow.
And we've been scraping all the trim because there's just a lot of layers. And so we're using a infrared fancy, it's not a heat gun. It's fancier than a heat gun because it doesn't vaporize the lead paint. And scraping all of the trim. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that does not sound like fun.
Man.
Oh, man.
That's slow and steady wins the race on this one.
Yeah. Invite Marissa over to help you out with that. She'd love to.
She has her own house.
Yeah, she does. Yes, she does.
Wow.
So what are some of the other bigger projects that you see coming up in the house? Do you guys have a list or?
Yes. So the next major one is going to be a kitchen renovation. We're about halfway there of saving for it. And I already kind of have it sketched out of kind of what I want to do.
I'm sure you do. Yeah.
So I've spoken to a few contractors, so I don't know if I'm going to do it DIY or kind of do it myself or hire somebody or kind of manage the subcontractors myself. So I got to figure out that one. So I think it will depend on if I'm still kind of limited in my hours and we're still all working from home. I don't know what's going to happen.
Right. So things are a little uncertain right now. So. Yeah.
Well, that sounds like you've got something going on in the house. That's great. Good. Sounds like a fun project.
Yeah. Old houses, as you know, there's always a project to be done.
Right.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
So much fun.
That's great. And we've often talked about that too with people in this area. We have a lot of older homes here in in New England. So you have to love them to own one, and if you don't, and you think it just would be cool to own one and you don't actually love those things, you're just going to be miserable because there's a lot you got to let go. Yeah. Not everything's going to be plumb level square.
Nope.
So, if that's what you're about, then that's old homes are not for you.
Learning how to level your furniture on your woolly floors is art.
There you go. Exactly.
And there are a lot of carpenters who don't want to work on old homes because they, they're used
it's
to
hard.
It
is hard.
Yeah. It is. Yeah. It's hard for them to let something go that's not plumb level or square.
Right.
Trying to make it look good.
Yeah.
So, but you know what? I dealt with a customer who came from New York and bought an old house, and she's trying to make it, one of the doors in the house. I mean, I know you would love it, Gabrielle. One of the doors that they have, because it has character, meaning it's got nicks, bumps. It's got a lot of history to it. And she's asking me, can we straighten this out? Can we putty this? And I'm like, no, you can't.
No,
go buy a new door. No, you can't do that to that. No, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
No. And that's unfortunately, I think that's her biggest problem, trying to make something modern that is old and it won't transfer over. You know what I mean? That you can't get rid of the character of the house. You know what I'm trying to say? You get it?
Yeah,
both of you?
Absolutely. Yeah. I think you can just honor the history bones and just keep all the trim and the doors and the details very historic. And if you want to go modern with your furniture or your lighting.
Sure.
Bang.
There you go.
That's it.
Absolutely.
Lighting. Bang.
Lighting is key.
Right. Perfect.
Nice.
Any nightmare stories you got for us?
Yeah. So we were my husband and I have been trying to buy a house since August, and we closed on the house in January, and 5 properties, 6 offers later, we finally got a house. We're in a bidding war, and it was kind of like that moment where you are basically, we walked through the house 30 minutes the day after Thanksgiving, and the next day my husband left for an unexpected deployment. So I ended up he's like on the phone in London with our real estate agent on a 3-way call, and we're negotiating how to best and final offer kind of situation. And it was just so hard to do all of the first home buying things on my own. So that's my personal horror story.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is tough.
Yeah.
Well, you got it. Even though he was in London, you got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
He was a lot of times out of contact, no cell phone service for multiple weeks at a time. So
It was all on you.
he kind of just had to be okay with it, which thank heaven he is.
Well, thank him for his service and yours as well. So
thank you.
You're welcome.
We wish you luck on your new house.
Absolutely.
Your new old house. We wish you luck on that.
Now you're posting on Instagram?
I am.
Pictures of stuff?
In this whole process, I actually closed on the house and worked on it for about 2 months before he got home. And so I started an Instagram account to share with him and archive stuff so he could then log on to Instagram and see all the videos when he was able to have cell phone service.
Okay.
And it kind of just expanded and grew as people started following and sharing. And so, it's still my tiny little corner of the cyber web, but almost daily updates on stories of all the weird stuff we're doing. So.
Oh, very cool. How did they find you?
That's fantastic.
I am at Rosie_the_renovator. So Rosie the Renovator.
Rosie the Renovator.
Rosie the Renovator.
And your name is Gabrielle.
Yeah. I'm Gabrielle.
Okay.
Rosie the Renovator. Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that your alter ego? Is that what's going on here?
Well, I was feeling very I can do this.
Okay.
Situation. And my middle name is Rose, so it's.
Oh, there you go. Now I know.
That makes sense.
Yes. All right.
That makes sense. That's great.
Well, Gabrielle, thank you so much for being on our show. We really do appreciate it, and we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you. It was nice talking to you guys.
Perfect.
All right, we'll see.
All right, Jimmy. Let's do it again next week.
Absolutely.
All right, buddy.
All right. Gravy fries.
The gravy fries. and Burger King milkshakes. Yes.
5 Guys.
5 Guys. Right.
Done deal.
All right. We're done talking about food. See you guys.
See
Bye.
ya. Bye.